أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين رحمة للعالمين مولانا وسيدنا أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرض أرواحنا له الفداء ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. Amma ba'd, respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are going to discuss our second session now on a commentary or an insight into the great supplication of Ziyarat Jamiah Kabirah. And as I explained in the first session, we have specific objectives behind these sessions. It's not going to be something that is going to have handouts or notes or anything like that. We won't be using any PowerPoint as such, unless there's something very technical and I feel that we need to use it. It's going to be very wilayati and spiritual. And we are going to try and explore from the writings of the great scholar of our time, Ayatollah Jawadi Amuli, may he and all of our scholars be given a long life. From his writings, we're going to explore this ziyarat and look at the deeper meanings of each of its sections. Alongside this, there may also be a podcast which I do, which will go a little bit quicker with shorter episodes. Therefore, we are not at the mercy of any stoppages or any clashes or anything like that, but that is yet to be confirmed. Now, last session, in session number 1, we discussed the term Assalamu alaikum. And today we are going to the next section, which is going to be discussing the term Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwwa. So the beginning of this ziyarat is actually Assalamu alaikum Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwwa. But because of the amount of information that we have to get through, I separated them into 2 sections, and you'll see why. So Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwwa simply means, O the house, O people of the house of prophethood. Now we are going to look at this in a little bit more depth. Let us start first of all by looking at the terminology that is used here and the words which are used. The first one is Ahl. Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwwa. The first word we are going to look at is Ahl. Ahl is a word in Arabic that is usually used for a person's relatives, family, kin. However, its real meaning is familiarity or fondness, okay, which comes with a deep attachment or connection and affiliation. So when there is familiarity and fondness together with deep attachment and connection, we use the word Ahl. This is why we use the word Ahl for a person's spouse, child, grandchild. These are called Ahl because between people we usually find this deep attachment and affiliation with familiarity and fondness. The stronger the connection between these people that we are calling Ahl of one another, the stronger the sense of Ahliyah or Ahliyat. So Ahl can be weaker and stronger depending on the strength of that link between them. Okay? So the stronger the connection, we have more powerful Ahliyah. The weaker the connection between them or the weaker the link between them, we have weaker Ahliyah. Hence, it is even possible that a person's biological son or daughter is not their Ahl in one sense. And we find this in the Holy Quran, verses number 45 and 46 of Surah number 11. وَنَادَى نُوحٌ رَبَّهُ فَقَالَ رَبِّ إِنَّ ابْنِي مِنْ أَهْلِي. Nuh called out to his Lord and said, my Lord, my son is indeed from my family. So before the flood came and before the deluge started, Nabi Nuh said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I want my son with me. He is from my Ahl. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replied, قَالَ يَا نُوحُ إِنَّهُ لَيْسَ مِنْ أَهْلِكَ. He said in reply, Allah said, "O Nuh, indeed he is not from your family." So here we see that an actual biological son of a prophet, Allah says, no, in this sense, he's not from your family. He doesn't qualify for protection. He doesn't qualify to be saved from this deluge. Hence, in this sense, he's not from your Ahl at all. So Ahl is the strong connection between people. And we use this term for family because of their strong connection. Ya Ahl Baytin Nubuwa. Bayt simply means house. And then we come on to the term Nubuwa. Now, according to Ayatollah Jawadi, this term, Nubuwa, it comes from the root of Nabawa, which means highness or loftiness. And therefore, a Nabi is a person who has achieved a lofty position in his spirit and spirituality, and hence he has superiority over others, albeit he remains a human like them in his physical self. But he has an extra degree of superiority over them, an authority over them. Now, there are other views with regards to the word Nabi. One of the other famous views is that it comes from Naba'a, to give news or to give tidings. So they say that a Nabi is actually someone who gives news from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to people. But Ayatollah Jawadi prefers the opinion that it is from Nabawa, meaning loftiness or highness. So what is Baytun Nubuwa? So far, we have looked at the words in their dictionary definitions. But in Islamic usage, the term Ahlul Baytin Nubuwa, which is often shortened simply to Ahlul Bayt. The Shia school of thought, we use this term a lot. In fact, we call ourselves in many occasions the school of Ahlul Bayt. It is shortened to simply Ahlul Bayt, people of the house. And that is understood to mean people of the house of prophethood. Now, who are these people and who is included? Here, I'm just going to outline the different opinions amongst the different sects. So, on one hand, we have complete unity between Shias and Sunnis that this term, Ahlul Baytin Nubuwa, is a specific term and it includes specific people in it. Both sects agree that it refers to Ahlul Kisa or Ashabul Kisa, the people of the cloak, also referred to as Khamsa Tayyiba, the 5 pure personalities. So who are these? Rasulullah, Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, Fatima Athar, Janab Fatima, Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Both sects are agreed that these 5 are definitely included. The Shias go one step further, and the Sunni school of thought will not agree with this, but this is what the Shias say. They say that we also extend this term to the 9 Imams in the lineage of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, even though they were not physically present at the event of Hadith Kisa, and even though they did not physically live at the time of the Holy Prophet. Now that raises some questions which we are going to address. So the Shia say the 5 Ashabul Kisa plus the 9 Imams, the 14 Ma'sumin, these are Ahlul Baytin Nubuwa. The Sunnis say we agree with the 5 Ahlul Kisa, but also in this are the wives of the Holy Prophet. And there are other opinions as well where some others are also included. So here we have a difference. We have one unifying thing, which is that the 5 Ahlul Kisa are included between both sects, and then it becomes different. We say the 9 Imams are included, and Sunnis say that the 9 Imams they don't agree with, but they agree with the wives being included. So now we need to ask the question, so who is included and who is not included? Here we need to look at the meaning of this term in a little bit more depth. There's something in Arabic, and I don't want to get too technical, and this is not going to be a technical discourse at all. But we need to discuss a couple of things in the Arabic language, and one of them is idafa. Idafa is simply when you attribute one thing to another thing. You join two things together, and one way of doing that is to use a technique called idafa. Okay? And in this sense, just to make it very simple, and not to get very technical, there are three types of idafa. One is in the meaning of min. Okay? Min means from. So when you want to describe the kind of thing, or the species of a thing, or the material of a thing, you can use idafa in the meaning of min. So for example, if I said khatamu dhahabin, a ring of gold, I'm using idafa, but I'm using it for the meaning of min, from. A ring that is from the material of gold. Okay? Second is in the meaning of fi. Fi means in, in. So for example, when you want to describe the timing of a thing, or the place of a thing, the location of a thing, we use idafa in the meaning of fi. So if I said, for example, Salatul Asr, I'm saying the prayer, the namaz, in the time of Asr, in the time of late afternoon. So here the meaning is of fi. And the third one is in the meaning of lam. Lam, when we say li, it means for. F-O-R. So when you want to describe the ownership of something, and you want to ascribe the ownership of something to someone else. For example, if we said, Kitabu Zaydin, the book of Zayd. This book belongs to Zayd. What we're trying to say is, this book belongs and is the ownership of Zayd. So now when we say, Baytun Nubuwa, Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwa, what meaning of idafa are we using here? Is it min, fi, or lam? Well, here it is the meaning of lam. It's called idafa lamiyeh. So what we are saying, in fact, is we are saying that this is baytun lin nubuwa. It is the household, or the house that belongs to prophethood. Okay, so it's the meaning of lam. Therefore, the conclusion that we draw from this is that it is the house that belongs to the station of prophethood, not the house that belongs to Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, the individual. This is not what we're trying to say. The Holy Prophet, he lived in a physical house. If you want a bricks and mortar structure, he lived in one of these in Mecca for a while, and then in Medina for a while. This is not the house that we're talking about here when we say Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwa. We're not talking about the bricks and mortar physical structure in which the Prophet rested, had his meals, interacted with his family. No, we're not talking about that house. We're talking about Baytun lin Nubuwa, a house which belongs to the station of prophethood. If you think about it, when there's a house, when there's a physical structure of a house, many people may visit and frequent the house of a person, the spouse, the companions, the friends, other visitors, neighbors, children, daughters-in-law, sons-in-law, maybe even people of another belief and religion can visit someone's house. So all of these things can happen to a physical house. But to say that someone belongs to the house of prophethood and not the prophet as an individual person who had a physical bricks and mortar structure of a house, this needs much more. We need much more than just family ties, blood relationship, frequent visits, love for the prophet, companionship with the prophet, marriage with the prophet. It needs much more than this to say that this is the household of prophethood. So this is why we conclude that yes, Ahlul Kisa are included in this for sure. However, we also say that we can extend this belonging to the household of prophethood even to the rest of the Imams, even the other 9 Imams, even though they did not live physically at the time of the Holy Prophet and they did not even see the Holy Prophet. Hence, the Bayt, the house that we are referring to in this ziyarah, and whenever we say Ahlul Bayt Nubuwah, and whenever we say Ahlul Bayt, we're not talking about the physical bricks and mortar structure of the individual we know as the Holy Prophet. No, it is the house of Nubuwah and Risala. It is the house of the position of prophethood and messengership. Ayatollah Jawadi then makes a very interesting point. And he says, one evidence which may point to this are the following verses. He says in the Quran, whenever Allah mentions the physical house of the Holy Prophet, whenever he mentions the physical bricks and mortar structure, the building which is the house of the Holy Prophet, Allah mentions it in plural. So look at these few instances. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, la tadkhulu buyutan nabi, do not enter the Prophet's houses, plural. Illa an yu'adhana lakum, except when permission is granted to you. Because this was a problem at the time, that people would impose upon the Holy Prophet too much, and he would not be able to ask them to leave. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this verse and said, do not go to the houses of the Prophet. Here it is plural. Or when commanding his wives, when commanding the wives of the Holy Prophet, وَقَرْنَا فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ وَلَا تَبَرَّجْنَا تَبَرُّجَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ الْأُولَى, remain in your houses. It doesn't say house. It says you are the wives of the Prophet, remain in your houses, in your physical structures, in these houses which are built with bricks and mortar, remain in them. وَقَرْنَا فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ, buyut again is plural. And do not display your finery with the display of the former days of ignorance and jahiliyyah. And then in that same verse, it mentions وَأَقِمْنَا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتِينَا الزَّكَاةَ وَأَطِعْنَا اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, maintain prayer and the zakat and obey Allah and His Apostle. إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. At the end of the same verse, after mentioning buyut earlier, plural, when it comes to tathir and purifying certain people, here there's no mention of plural. Here it's the singular bait, not buyut, which shows, Ayatollah Jawadi says, it shows that there's something different here. This is not the physical house, the structure of Rasulullah. Again, وَاذْكُرْنَا مَا يُتْلَى فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ, in the next verse, 33, 34, Allah says, and remember what is recited in your houses, buyutikunna, buyut, of the signs of Allah and wisdom. So he says that this could be one of the evidences to use, in the sense that the Quran shows that whenever it speaks about physical houses, it mentions it in plural, but when it mentions Ahlul Bayt and purification of a certain group of people, it mentions it in singular. So the next question that we will address is, so what is this house? When we say it's not a bricks and mortar house, then what is it? Well, it is something much more special than a physical structure, much more special than just walls and roofs and doors. It is the house which acts as a connector between the heavens and the earth. It is the house which bridges Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His creation, which carries the messages of Allah, which gives the guidance of Allah, which shows the manifestations of Allah. It's not the place where Rasulullah as a human being rested at night, nor where his wives lived, nor where people would come and visit him. Although, of course, we also admire and respect those physical structures. We in the Shia school of thought, in the way we understand things, we don't have any problem with respecting physical things because they have a connection with Rasulullah. Of course, those things are probably no longer even left standing after the destruction of such things by certain Muslims. But if we had access to these things then of course we would respect them as well because they had a physical connection with Rasulullah, but they are not the Baytun Nubuwa which we are referring to in this ziyarah. So to be part of Baytun Nubuwa, this needs wilaya. It needs the height of purity and perfection. It needs divine authority. It needs Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant this honor and status, and this heavy responsibility must come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the people of Baytun Nubuwa need to have these kinds of qualifications, and they need to have this kind of lofty status and position. Here, I just want to connect now what we said last week with this week. Ayatollah Jawadi makes a few nice points at the end of this chapter. He says, when we say Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwa, straight after saying Assalamu Alaikum, this is a technical point. Again, I'll try to make it very simple. We have this principle in our Islamic studies of Ta'liqul Hukm ala al-Wasf. That basically what that means is when you draw a conclusion and you link it to an attribute, then that shows the causality, it shows why you are doing that. In other words, what we are saying when we say Assalamu alaikum ya ahla baytin nubuwa is we say peace be upon you because you are the ahlu baytin nubuwa, because you are the mawdi'ur risala, which is next week, because you are the mukhtalaful malaika, because of all of these things that we are going to recite in this ziyarah. This is why you qualify for all these millions and billions of people to come and pay homage to you. Because of your status, we are saying Assalamu alaikum. So we are very, very humbled and we are very honored to address the Ahlul Bayt. Now, two final points. We use the word Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwa. In Arabic, when you want to call someone, there are different words and there are different terms you can use to call people, depending on the distance from that person. So we have words which are used for near, words which are used for someone who is middle distance, and words which are used for far away. What is Ya? Well, Ya is one of those terms in Arabic you can use for any of them. It can be used for someone close to you, middle distance, or far away. So what Ayatollah Jawadi says here is that if someone conceives that we are using Ya for someone distant, then why would we say that? We could be standing next to the Zari of Amir al-Mu'mineen or Imam Rida alayhi salam, but we will still say Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, Assalamu alayka Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. So why would we use Ya if we are right next to the Zari? He says if you have the meaning in your mind of being far, then it is because of their very high and lofty status, which is far out of our reach and far beyond us. Even though we may be next to their Zari, we are looking at their spiritual position, their loftiness and height in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second point that he concludes this chapter with is that he says this term, Ya Ahla Baytin Nubuwa, because it comes so early in the ziyarah. Why? It's us declaring that they have this amazing position and us submitting that yes, we recognize your amazing position, that yes, we recognize that you have superiority over us and everyone else, that yes, you are Allah's chosen ones. And that sets up the rest of the ziyarah, because from this point on we are now going to go into some incredible, wonderful descriptions of Ahlul Bayt. Someone may take one sentence and say, how is that possible? Isn't that something like beyond their status? We say no. If you understand this first part, if you understand and you admit and you submit to the first part, that you are Ahlul Baytin Nubuwa, that you are the household of prophethood, then everything else we say it's not problematic at all, because it is simply continuing and elaborating on this first key central idea that you are amazing personalities. Therefore, whatever else we say, these things are not beyond reality. These are within reality. These are within your status and within your amazing position. So in this one sentence, Assalamu alaikum ya ahla baytin nubuwa, we are declaring that you have all the amazing attributes at their zenith and their peak. There cannot be any greater manifestation of the attributes except for what you people have done. And whatever else we say in this ziyarah is very much aligned with you and the way you are. And these things are not improbable for you in any way whatsoever. That brings us to the end of this second session. Next week, we'll be discussing the term Mawdi'ur Risala. Inshallah, if we have tawfiq, we'll discuss next week Mawdi'ur Risala. Now, if there are any questions, I will take them now. I have the YouTube chat in front of me, and inshallah, we can answer these as we go along. So, one sister, please can you send the link of the first part, please? I love Ziyarat Jamiah. Inshallah, we will send that, but how will we send it? If you go onto the main page of this channel, the Stanmore Hujjat ELC channel, you'll see them there in the list of videos. And if you have any problems, then please just send an email to our Jamaat admin@hujjat.org and ask them for the link, or ask them to put you in touch with me, and inshallah, I can send you the link. We'll just wait for a few more seconds. If there are any more questions or comments, then we will address them. Doesn't look like there's anything more. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Iltimas dua, remember me in your prayers, inshallah. Please remember all marhumeen with Al-Fatiha.